There is a battlefield more fierce than any war fought on land, sea, or sky. It lies within your own mind. Every thought you allow, every belief you nurture, every fear you entertain. They either forge your future or fracture it. Understand this. Before a single empire was built, before a single fortune was amassed, before a single name was etched into the stones of history, it was first conceived in the unseen world of thought. The mind, that invisible kingdom, is where kings are crowned and where defeat is born. Command it, and you command the forces that shape your destiny. Most live as prisoners inside their own minds, held captive by doubts they did not create, fears they inherited, limits they accepted without question. But you are not most people. If you are hearing these words, it is because something deep within you refuses to accept a life of quiet submission. There is a voice inside you that knows your greatest battles, your greatest victories, and your greatest transformations begin not out there in the world, but in here, where thought becomes belief, where belief becomes action, and where action becomes reality. Carnegie knew it, Ford knew it, Edison, Lincoln, Disney, they all knew. The external world bends to the will of a mind that believes without permission and acts without apology. You must decide now, who holds the crown inside your head? Is it your highest vision or your deepest fear? Because one of them will rule you. One of them will command your actions, and one of them will write your story. You are not here to be ruled. You are here to reign. Flowing directly into belief and clarity. A belief is the lever that moves the world. Every invention, every movement, every revolution was born because someone believed when there was no reason to. They saw light while standing in darkness. They spoke of mountains while standing in valleys. They acted as if success was inevitable, even when failure mocked them from every direction. Napoleon Hill wrote, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." Not some of the time. Not only for the lucky, not only for the privileged, for anyone, for everyone who chooses to command their belief. And yet, belief without clarity is like a ship without a compass. It floats, it drifts, it crashes. Clarity is the blade that cuts through the fog of confusion. You must be ruthlessly clear on who you are, what you want, and why you will not settle for less. Because in a world that screams for your attention, only the focused mind builds anything that lasts. You must define your vision so clearly that no storm, no critic, no failure can shake it from your grasp. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper because he lacked imagination. Imagine that. They told the man who dreamed of castles and kingdoms and magic that he lacked imagination. But Disney had something they could not see. He had a vision so real, so vivid, it lived inside him with greater power than any rejection outside him. This is the level of clarity you must seek. Not a wish, not a vague hope, but a living, breathing, burning vision that outshines every obstacle. When you command your mind to see what does not yet exist, you give birth to worlds that others only visit. Flowing seamlessly into vision and purpose. Vision gives you direction. Purpose gives you fuel. A man without purpose is a ship without sails. He is moved by every wave, tossed by every wind. But a man or woman who moves with purpose, they are a force no storm can break. Purpose is the root that holds you steady when the seasons change. It is the voice that whispers, "Keep going," when your body aches and your spirit tires. It is the fire that refuses to die, even when the night is long and the way forward seems lost. Henry Ford faced bankruptcy 5 times before he succeeded. 5 times he stood at the edge of ruin. 5 times the world called him a fool. And 5 times he said, "I will build it anyway." Because Ford was not moved by appearances. He was moved by purpose. And when a human being moves with purpose, the world eventually must move with them. Your purpose is not something you find. It is something you decide. Decide that your life will mean something. Decide that you will not leave this earth the same way you entered it. Decide that whatever gifts, talents, dreams have been placed inside you, they are not there to be buried. They are there to be unleashed. Command your mind to demand purpose from yourself. Command your mind to burn away the distractions that steal your time, your energy, your life. Because the world will offer you comfort, but comfort has never built a dynasty. Comfort has never written a name in the history books. Only purpose, only hunger, only fire does that. Continuing into discipline, action, and resilience. But purpose without discipline is like a lion without teeth. It roars, but it cannot conquer. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. It is the quiet, often painful, unglamorous work that transforms wishes into wealth, visions into victory. The world will tell you discipline is sacrifice, but it is not. Discipline is freedom. Freedom from regret. Freedom from mediocrity. Freedom from the chains of what could have been. When you command your mind, you command your habits. And your habits, more than your hopes, more than your intentions, will write the story of your life. Carnegie did not become the Steel King because he felt like working every day. He became a titan because he worked anyway. Lincoln did not hold the Union together because the path was easy. He stayed the course even when the nation split beneath his feet. And you must forge the same steel within yourself. The discipline to move forward when no applause comes. The discipline to sharpen your craft when no one watches. The discipline to stand tall when failure and fatigue are your only companions. Do not wait for motivation. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for perfect conditions. They do not exist. Command your mind to act. Command your body to follow. And the universe, slowly, reluctantly, and then inevitably, will bow to your persistence. Understand this. You will be knocked down. You will fail. You will question if you are strong enough, smart enough, worthy enough, good, because greatness is not given, it is earned. Resilience is your proof. Resilience is the sacred fire that says, no matter how many times the world breaks me, I will build myself again, stronger, smarter, sharper. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times before he perfected the light bulb. 10,000 failures, 10,000 dark nights, and yet he said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That is resilience. That is command. It is not how many times you fall that matters. It is how many times you rise, with fists clenched tighter and spirit burning brighter. You are not here to avoid hardship. You are here to dominate it, flowing directly into gratitude, adaptability, and growth. Gratitude is not weakness. Gratitude is strength disguised as humility. Command your mind to see the blessings that already surround you. Command your mind to recognize the invisible wealth already in your hands. Breath, opportunity, potential, another sunrise, another chance. A grateful heart is an unstoppable heart because it is never empty. It is always full. It moves not from scarcity, but from abundance. And when you move from abundance, you attract more to you. More opportunities, more resources, more allies, more victories. But understand this too. Gratitude does not mean complacency. It means standing firm in the storms of life with a spirit that refuses to be broken. It means adapting. Adaptability is survival. Adaptability is mastery. The world belongs not to the strongest nor to the smartest, but to the most willing to change, to grow, to evolve. You must be unshakable in your vision, but flexible in your methods. You must hold your goal as sacred, but your path as negotiable. The greats did not succeed because everything went according to plan. They succeeded because nothing went according to plan, and they adapted anyway. Command your mind to learn. Command your mind to evolve. Command your mind to grow beyond every version of yourself that ever dared to settle. You are either expanding or contracting. You are either evolving or dissolving. There is no standing still. Every challenge that rises before you is not an enemy. It is an invitation. An invitation learning to become is the alchemy of transformation. An invitation to ascend. It is how the raw iron of your experiences is forged into the gold of wisdom. Command your mind to never stop learning. Command your mind to become a relentless student of life itself. Because knowledge is not simply power, applied knowledge is power. There are lessons hidden inside every failure, blueprints buried inside every defeat, weapons forged inside every wound. If you would rise higher than your circumstances, higher than your past, higher than your doubts, you must study your life like a master studies his craft. You must become obsessed, not with appearing perfect, but with becoming invincible. Carnegie spent more time learning the minds of men than he did learning steel. Ford learned how to make cars faster, not because he knew everything, but because he knew how to keep learning when others gave up. The question is not whether life will test you. It will. The question is whether you will learn fast enough to pass the tests. Every setback, every delay, every betrayal, they are your instructors. Listen, adapt, grow. The world belongs to those who learn faster than the problems that try to break them. Now listen closely, White, because here is the truth most never hear. The vision you hold, it is not random. It was given to you. It was entrusted to you. There are dreams inside you that were not planted by accident. They are not suggestions. They are commands issued from the depths of who you were born to become. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to the world to bring them forth with everything you have. You must rise beyond temporary emotion. You must act when you feel ready and when you feel broken. You must walk when your legs are strong and when they tremble. You must speak when your voice is clear and when it cracks with fear, because vision without action is a betrayal. It is a crime against the greatness placed inside you. Command your mind to see the finish line, even when you are still running blind through the fog. Command your mind to hold the vision, even when the world screams that you are foolish, reckless, naive. Command your mind to move forward, even if it must crawl, bleed, stumble its way into history. Because every great one you admire once stood exactly where you stand now, full of doubt, full of fear, full of questions, but they chose to move anyway. They chose to trust the unseen. They chose to believe before the evidence appeared. And because they commanded their minds, they conquered their worlds. So now the final question echoes before you like a bell in the dark. Will you command your mind, or will you be commanded by it? Will you rise as master, or kneel as servant? Will you forge your world, or inherit one built by others? You are standing at the gates of your own destiny. No one else can walk through them for you. No one else can bear the price. No one else can wear the crown. You were born to lead. You were born to build. You were born to conquer. Command your mind. Conquer your world. And let history remember you as one who refused to bow.